Hello, everybody. It's Danny Deals. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Of course, presented by Hurricane Lopez, executive producer extraordinaire. It is March 16th at 5:24 p.m. out here on the Pacific Coast. That's about 8:30 out in NYC, and I hope it's a good hour wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a dedicated TENX Therapeutics Inc. investor. What a great stock, a great company. It is electric. As I predicted yesterday, we lost more value today. It was again algo in control most of the day between about 10 a.m. and 1:30 my time, 10 a.m. and about 3 p.m., 3:30 in fact. That algo was locked on, and it was right in those hours. Let's take a look. Let me share my screen here. Um, Look at the range today. It was very tight for this stock, a 5 cent range, 51 cent, 56 cents. This stock often ranges 30 cents in a day, 25 cents, very common. At least 15 cents these last few days where we've seen the heavy volume. But today, what we saw was a little bit different. Let me put on my glasses so I can actually see what the hell I'm talking about here. So we opened, previous close was 57 cents yesterday, and then we opened today at 53 cents and quickly dipped down to 51 cents. I think some retail buying came in at that point. I think retail is seeing, as I've been saying for days now, buy this stock at 50 cents. I think dropping into the 40s was a bit of an anomaly. I think the selling got a little bit away from the hedge fund there, but I think we might have seen retail picking up some shares here in anticipation of another pump and dump. And then right about 10 o'clock, we start to see the algo selling off. So when you see this long, slow sell off that kind of just sideways and down, you feel like they're dumping shares slowly and trying to get the best price they can. They don't want to create a panic, drive the stock down, selling a huge block. They want to sell some shares, and we saw some pretty good volume today at 4 million shares. Now you think, okay, it just traded 55 million, 30 million. It's been doing at least 10 million a day. Very, very true. But if you remember just a couple weeks ago, this stock was trading like 300, 400,000, shares a day. Now the new normal is, oh, it's got to be at least 10 million. 4 million is still very, very heavy volume historically for this stock. Uh, let's take a look at what happened here today. So big selling down to 51 cents and some buying comes in. And then this is where the algo grabs the stock again, as you can see right here, this 56 cent level that has been, on the map going way back. Um, the algo, starts selling here at 56, and so this is kind of a wall they put up basically, and they just begin selling off the stock all day. And then there's another wall they put up at exactly 54 cents. I haven't even checked, but I'm guessing there's another one exactly at 55 cents. Yeah, so you see these levels again coming in, and um, the stock just basically sells off all the way from 10 a.m. to 3:30, and then again you have this level. It keeps bouncing off 51. Notice in the morning over here 51 cents. You see buying pressure over here again. 51 cents. You see buying pressure. 51 cents. Tons of buying pressure, and then you see some big buys there at the end. So this could be retail. Not really sure on that. But what I notice with this stock is that you have these sideways red days where they're selling off shares, and that often precedes a pump and dump. So I think the the, the jig is up a little bit in that a lot of retail and probably other people, other market makers are starting to really see that this is basically a series of pump and dumps, where you see you see this over and over again where you have this sideways red day and then a pump and dump, and a sideways red day, a little pump and dump there, sideways red day, pump and dump, and you just see sideways red day, pump and dump. It's they're pumping and dumping this stock over and over again. I think that's basically what the hedge fund is doing. They're going to do that as much as they can until there is some kind of news or PR or deal, or maybe some insider buying, or an institution steps in and buys some shares. That most institutions and market makers are not going to look at actually buying into a company long shares at a 50-cent share price and a $5 million market cap. I mean, they don't have that much cash, so it seems quite risky, and they're going to just look at this thing and just not want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But I feel like retail is expecting more frequent pump and dumps, and they're just going to wring every penny out of the stock until they can flip, go long, and do that last pump and dump where they really make retail come in, build some confidence, and then they'll try one last rug pull and just get out of their position with the most profits they can and leave the rest of us here to pick up the pieces. So today was, another day, lots of algo trading, 4 million shares trading hands. They stepped this down in nice orderly fashion. We saw buying pressure come in at 51 cents. There was no real news on the day, nothing to speak of. We still are in the exact same position. And this could have been, people buying in with the idea that there's another pump and dump coming. This could be people, this could be the start of the pump and dump. We might see just heavy buying right off the bell tomorrow. I feel like um, we have seen since. We have seen since this particular dump right here. I mean, this is a nice orderly sell-off. You start to take off these anomalies, and this is just a nice sell-off. And you had a huge pump and dump here, another pretty big one here, and when you see this nice orderly sell-off, just leads me to believe they're sort of unloading their ammo so they can just reload, with a huge buying spree at the beginning, create that pump, and then, they'll dump. I don't know, will they pump it to, 65 cents, 75 cents, $2? It just depends if this quote unquote Reddit army comes in, the short squeeze comes in. I just think, it's impossible to time pump and dumps because they do pump and dumps that go up 10 cents, they do pump and dumps that go up a quarter, and they do pump and dumps that go up $4, or up to $4, like a $3 pump. So how do you know how to time that? You don't. So I mean, that's why I don't day trade and try to chase FOMO, and I don't panic sell. I simply analyze a company that I think is undervalued, and I try to accumulate shares at the lowest prices that I can, and then I hold and see what's going to happen. I actually think this company has good drugs that are worth really good money. If you back out to this 1 year chart, you see that this line um, really holds up. Like, you're seeing that, a few times the highs are kind of touching it. And then what we see is we stay below this line, and then um, we flip just above it briefly. And then, it's just a long, 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 orderly sell off from this huge dump last June. And you just have to think, is the stock going to go to zero? How low can they take it? We're already under a $5 million market cap. We're already, less than half of the cash they have on hand. Expenses are under control. There is no debt. Yes, you have these warrants hanging out there, but I mean, if the warrants can be exercised at $1.80 or 2.25 and you're sitting at 53 cents, I'm not super worried about the warrants. You got to, 3x, 4x, 5x just to get up into that range where anyone would want to exercise those warrants. And then the same hedge fund that's been shorting and churning and dumping and running these pump and dumps also bought a lot of the offerings. So, they could be a little bit trapped if some type of news hits. But anyway, it was another sell off, another bleeder for the Tenax investor. Really nothing great to report. The only thing you can sort of hang your hat on is that we are seeing um, just a ton of volume come into the stock. For whatever reason, I know a lot of it is just churn and it's the same players selling it to each other. But you start to see you had some bigger days at 1 million, and then you drop down just selling a couple 100,000 shares every day, 600, 500, 500, and then 30 million, 10 million, 10 million, 28 million, 54 million, 12 million, 6 million. And then today was, slowing down, very slow day, still 4 million shares traded. So that's still very, very heavy volume. And, I really feel like we could see a huge pump and dump tomorrow. Um, I have no evidence of that, but when I see this hedge fund just selling off their shares in this orderly fashion, it's like, why would they sell their shares down here at 54, 55, 56 cents if it's not to run a pump and dump? But they're not making any money just selling the shares, so they have to reaccumulate, and they're going to run this share price right back up, and they're going to dump a bunch of horse caca on retail, and that's just the way it is. The only way to play this stock is accumulate down at 50 cents if you can. Buy in small market orders. There is bid rigging. There's all kinds of things going on that a little over the head of Danny Deals, but I bought more shares today. I will continue to buy more shares. You do whatever you think is best. Remember, penny stocks involve a ton of risk. And they could also involve a ton of reward. That's the deal. You don't get one without the other. That's why these micro cap stocks are so volatile, and that's why these hedge funds can control them, because the market cap is so small and they own so many shares. And doesn't appear insiders are buying, doesn't appear institutions are coming in, which isn't surprising given the market cap and the recent history of the company. So we just have to hold for news and try to accumulate when the hedge fund doesn't want us to buy, and ignore the FOMO, never panic sell. And as long as you believe in the company, we don't get bad news. My advice is these shares are extremely undervalued. I'm going to continue to accumulate anything below 50 cents. Today I bought, I think, around 52 cents. That doesn't bother me. 52, 53, 54. I mean, if I think this company's worth over $100 million, I'm not going to, fret whether I'm buying at a 5 million market cap or a $5.1 million market cap. Doesn't really bother me, because I'm looking for a huge move when we get a phase 3 trial started, or we get some kind of partnership on one of the drugs, or we get some kind of deal for the company, or who knows what's going to happen. But I just believe this company's assets are extremely undervalued. You don't necessarily have to believe that Zach's analysis a while back, but everybody who takes a look at this company really sees a good chance for approval of one or both of their assets. They of course have 2 phase 3 ready drugs, already been through phase 2, one for heart failure, I believe one for hypertension, and I believe this company has a lot of potential. Sure as hell not seeing it right now. Like I said yesterday, we got kicked square in the nuts again today by 10x Therapeutics. And, that's what happens because you're investing in pre-revenue microcap penny stock that just had massive dilution, has no revenue, doesn't have much direction. Management seems a little bit lost. Roth Capital seems to have failed miserably at their job and then given us a horrible offering dilution type of scenario, and handed the keys to the car once again to this beautiful hedge fund X that again just uses my testiculars for a punching bag on the daily. But hey, that's life. Remember, do your own research. This is not financial advice. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. Don't buy penny stocks. Buy an index fund. You fool. You fool. Don't buy this garbage. Do as I say, not as I do. Please. Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name's Danny Deals. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching Un Poco Mas, a show where we give you just a little bit more. I will see you tomorrow when Tenax either pumps and dumps or goes down. It's probably going to be one of the two, unless we get some news. And there has been crickets from management. Sometimes that means something is happening, but in this case, I think it could be a whole lot of nothing, which is pretty much what's left in your account if you're a 10x investor. Oh, not funny. Have a good night, guys.